The Wayans brothers changed sitcom television in the 1990s, but behind the laugh track was rejection, hustle, and a fight the brothers refused to lose. From two major networks turning the show down to a #1 box office movie filmed in the very same year, it is a miracle this show ever made it on air at all. These are 14 weird facts about the Wayans brothers, including a bonus fact at the end that reveals the 3 cast members who never missed a single one of the 101 episodes. Number 1. NBC passed on the pilot because executives called Witherspoon too ghetto and too country. Before the WB ever existed, The Wayans Brothers was developed at NBC in 1994 under then entertainment president Warren Littlefield. The network ordered the pilot and filmed it with a cast Shawn and Marlon Wayans had carefully assembled. John Witherspoon was cast as the family patriarch Pops Williams, a role written specifically with his comedic style in mind. After the table read, NBC executives delivered their verdict, deeming Witherspoon's depiction of Pops too ghetto and too country, and proposed recasting the role with a different actor entirely. The Wayans brothers refused. They stood with Witherspoon in solidarity and told NBC plainly that if Pops was recast, there was no show. Faced with that standoff, NBC passed on the project entirely. The brothers then took it to ABC, where executives also rejected it. The show was effectively without a home until the Warner Brothers television network, a brand new venture, reached out to Marlon and said they would take it. Number 2. The original title was Brother to Brother. During early development, the series was not called The Wayans Brothers at all. The working title was Brother to Brother, a name meant to emphasize the sibling chemistry at the heart of the show. The pitch was simple: 2 real-life brothers playing 2 fictional brothers navigating life in a Harlem apartment, sharing one bedroom, fighting over rent, chasing women, and being lectured by their father. By the time the show made its way to the WB after being rejected by NBC and ABC, the title had been changed to The Wayans Brothers. The new name traded the abstract sibling concept for the brand the audience already knew. Shawn and Marlon had spent years on In Living Color as part of the Wayans Comedy Collective, and the surname was already Hollywood currency. The retitling acknowledged that the show was being sold under the Wayans name as much as the premise itself. Number 3. Marlon Wayans developed the show broke, sitting alone at his home computer. When In Living Color ended its run on Fox in 1994, Marlon Wayans found himself in a position most people would not associate with a member of the Wayans family. He was broke. He has spoken publicly about how little money he had in the bank after the show wrapped, and how the steady paycheck he had grown used to suddenly disappeared. With limited options and no immediate work lined up, he sat at home with a computer and started writing. What he was writing would eventually become The Wayans Brothers. The concept did not come from a studio pitch or a development meeting. It came from him plotting out the show alone in his apartment, building it around the real-life chemistry he had with his older brother Shawn. The premise grew out of their actual relationship as siblings, mixing the everyday chaos of family life with a hustling rhythm that defined their comedic style. The whole foundation of the show was assembled by a broke 20-something at his desk. Number 4. It was the first series ever to debut on the WB. When The Wayans Brothers premiered on January 11, 1995, it carried a distinction no other show on the network could ever claim again. It was the first series ever to air on the WB. The network had just launched, and its entire primetime strategy hinged on one single block of programming, a 2-hour Wednesday night sitcom lineup designed to introduce viewers to the new brand. The Wayans Brothers opened that block. The 3 shows that followed were Unhappily Ever After, The Parenthood, and the short-lived Muscle. For a brand new network competing against the established powers of NBC, ABC, CBS, and Fox, leaning on the Wayans name to anchor the very first night made perfect strategic sense. The show that NBC had rejected only months earlier became the foundation piece for the network that gave it a home. Number 5. The pilot script was written by a husband and wife sitcom team. The show is officially credited to 4 creators: Shawn Wayans, Marlon Wayans, Lizzie Ray, and David Stephen Simon. But the pilot script itself, the document that actually convinced the WB to greenlight the series, was written by a different pair. Billy Banzan and Jane Milmore, a husband and wife sitcom writing team with extensive prior network television credits, came in to write the pilot and served as executive producers for the entire first season. After season 1, Rick Hawkins took over as showrunner for season 2. Phil Kellett and Tom Moore then ran the final 3 seasons together. Few sitcoms of the era went through that many showrunner transitions while still holding their tone and audience. Number 6. The brothers sang their own theme song, completely uncredited. The opening theme song, titled Give Me a High Five, became one of the most recognizable parts of the show. The official credit went to composer Alan Kahn, but the voices actually performing the song were Shawn and Marlon themselves, both uncredited. The lyrics were intentionally absurd. The whole song was written as a parody of the cheery, saccharine theme songs that dominated 1970s sitcoms, the era when black families on television were often presented in a polished, scrubbed version of reality. By having the lead actors deliver the song themselves and pitch it deliberately over the top, the show set its tone in the first 15 seconds of every episode. Audiences could not tell at first whether the song was satire or sincerity, which was precisely the point. Number 7. The opening credits parodied 1970s sitcoms with a dynamite director gag. The full opening title sequence committed completely to its satire of 1970s urban sitcoms. Shawn and Marlon appeared on the steps of a brownstone apartment building dressed in afros and 1970s preppy attire, moving in rhythm to the song. Everything about the staging was a direct lift from the visual language of that era: wide collars, bright colors, the brownstone stoop framing. As the song wound down, a voice off camera playing the role of a 1970s sitcom director called out the most loaded line in the entire bit: "All right, cut and print, beautiful guys, dynamite." The line was a direct callback to Jimmy Walker's catchphrase from Good Times, the 1974 CBS sitcom that defined the entire genre being parodied. The moment the director said it, Marlon broke character completely and angrily trashed the camera. In 15 seconds of physical comedy, the opening sequence told viewers exactly what kind of show they were about to watch. Number 8. The brothers' on-screen apartment was based on their real childhood home in Manhattan. The fictional apartment Shawn and Marlon Williams shared on 117th Street in Harlem was loosely inspired by the real Wayans family home. Howell and Elvira Wayans raised all 10 of their children in a Chelsea, Manhattan apartment in New York City. The siblings, in order of age, were Dwayne, Keenan, Ivory, Dra, Damon Sr., Kim, Elvira, Nadia, Devin, Shawn, and Marlon. With 10 kids in one apartment, the cramped sleeping arrangements were not a sitcom invention. They were daily life. The cramped one-bedroom premise, the constant friction over money and space, the chaos of 2 adult brothers stuck together in too small a footprint, all of it came from autobiography rather than writer's room invention. The Wayans were not selling a hypothetical sitcom family. They were selling their own. Number 9. The theme music was changed twice, and Omar Epps helped produce the later version. The Give Me a High Five portion of the theme remained constant across all 5 seasons, but the second half of the opening sequence went through 2 complete overhauls. For seasons 1 and 2, the second half featured a tribe called Quest's Electric Relaxation, the 1994 single from their album Midnight Marauders. In season 3, the producers dropped the licensed song and replaced it with a stripped-down 4-second hip-hop beat. Then for seasons 4 and 5, the theme was rebuilt one more time into a full hip-hop instrumental, with production credit going to the Wayans brothers themselves alongside actor Omar Epps. Epps was a longtime friend of the Wayans family who had broken out in films like Juice and Higher Learning earlier in the decade, and his name appeared in the official composer credits for the final 2 seasons. Number 10. Adam West guest starred on the show years after Marlon Wayans was dropped from playing Robin in the Batman movies. In the season 3 episode titled The Black Widower, which aired April 30th, 1997, the show landed a guest appearance from Adam West, the actor most identified with Bruce Wayne thanks to the 1960s ABC Batman television series. The casting carried a remarkable coincidence the audience would not have caught. A few years earlier, Marlon had actually been cast as Robin in Tim Burton's Batman Returns in 1992, paid roughly $100,000, and signed to a contract for the role. The character was cut from the film during scripting because the producers felt the cast was already overcrowded. Burton planned to bring Marlon back as Robin in the next installment, but when Joel Schumacher took over for Batman Forever in 1995, the new director recast the role and gave it to Chris O'Donnell. The actor who had been Batman ended up on a sitcom co-led by the man who had almost been Robin. Number 11. Shawn and Marlon released the #1 box office movie while still filming the show. While season 2 of the show was airing in the winter of 1996, Shawn and Marlon co-wrote and starred in a feature film that opened in theaters on January 12, 1996. The movie was Don't Be a Menace to South Central While Drinking Your Juice in the Hood, a long-winded parody of the black coming-of-age dramas that had defined the early 1990s. The film opened at #1 at the box office on its release weekend, grossing over $20 million worldwide on a production budget of just $3 million. The brothers were simultaneously filming weekly sitcom episodes while promoting a #1 movie, effectively working 2 full-time entertainment jobs at the same time. Number 12. Essence Atkins launched her career on the show, with Kim Wayans playing the brothers' cousin in the same episode. The Season 2 episode titled Farmer's Daughter, which aired November 29, 1995, was an early career milestone for actress Essence Atkins. Marlon Wayans personally advocated for her to be brought onto the show. The same episode also featured their actual sister Kim Wayans, playing the brothers' fictional rural cousin Sheila. Atkins' relationship with the family extended far beyond that single guest spot. She has now done 6 projects with the Wayans family across 3 decades, most recently co-starring on the CBS sitcom Papa's House, which premiered in October 2024. Her entire career arc as a working television actress traces back to that one 1995 episode. Number 13. Shawn Wayans broke the fourth wall in Scary Movie to complain about the cancellation. When the Wayans brothers ended in 1999 without any formal goodbye to its audience, the brothers carried that frustration into their next major project. In the 2000 horror parody Scary Movie, Shawn played a character named Ray who, in the middle of furiously stabbing another character to death, suddenly stops, turns directly to the camera, and delivers an unrelated complaint. The Wayans brothers was a good show, man. It was a good-ass show, and we didn't even get a final episode. Then he immediately returns to the stabbing. Scary Movie went on to gross over $278 million worldwide on a $17 million budget, meaning millions of viewers who had never watched the show learned about its quiet cancellation through that single broken fourth wall. Number 14. The WB canceled the show without a proper finale. The show ran for 5 seasons across 101 total episodes. By the late 1990s, ratings had begun to slip as the broader television landscape shifted. In 1999, the network made the decision to end the show, and the final episode aired on May 20, 1999. The writers were not given the time or resources to craft a true series finale. There was no wedding, no big move, no goodbye gathering at Pop's Diner. The final episode aired, and the credits rolled with storylines left permanently open. For a show that had helped launch the WB 4 years earlier, it was a particularly quiet exit. Bonus. Only 3 cast members appeared in every single episode, and the brothers' mother was never seen. Across the entire run of 101 episodes, only 3 cast members appeared in every one: Shawn Wayans, Marlon Wayans, and John Witherspoon. Leela Rashawn, who played Shawn's girlfriend Lisa Saunders, only appeared during Season 1. Anna Maria Horsford joined in Season 2 as security guard Dee Baxter and stayed through the end but missed the entire first season. And across all 5 seasons, the Williams brothers' mother was never once seen on screen. She was mentioned in passing, sometimes referenced as an off-screen voice or a name in a story, but the show never cast an actress to play her or showed her face on camera. The Wayans Brothers was a series built on a paradox, a pilot rejected by 2 networks over a single casting decision the brothers refused to overturn, a foundation built by a broke 20-something writing alone at his home computer, a sitcom that satirized the very genre it belonged to. A show that helped launch a brand new network from nothing, and then quietly walked off the air without a proper goodbye. 5 seasons, 101 episodes, and a brotherhood that was real long before the cameras were rolling.